video, I'll be breaking down the potential for severe weather in your area. And this hurricane season is starting to ramp up in the Atlantic and the Pacific. I'll also be breaking down your NFL forecast for football on Sunday. I'll also look at your 6 to 10 day precipitation and temperature outlook, as well as your near-term forecast. All that coming up in this video. Welcome back to Williams Weather. Hope y'all enjoying your Friday. Happy Friday, y'all. Ready for this jam-packed weekend. Looks like there will be a slight risk today, Friday, for parts of Nebraska, far northeastern Colorado, and a little southern part of South Dakota is affected by this as well. Now your main risks will be all hazards possible. 2% chance for a tornado just in Nebraska and far northeastern Colorado. There'll be a 15% chance for damaging winds in Nebraska, and mainly in the slight risk area. A 5% chance surrounding that in Wyoming, Colorado, and the outskirts of east central Nebraska, and a little sliver here of Kansas, northwest Kansas actually. Now your Donkey Kong size hail threats, a 5% chance. So please watch out today. Please be weather aware. And watch out for those flying speedos as well. There's a 15% chance for flying speedos, basically damaging winds. Which if you have speedos hanging up and they wind up flying, Gladys gonna yell at you. I thought I told you to get that speedo in your house when we have damaging wind. Daughter, I told you. This time I'm just gonna take it. I'm gonna throw it away. I'm gonna look at it first. Just look at it.
Just look at it. Just look at it. Just look at that.
Look at me throw it away. See, watch me. I'm gonna walk down here with my cane very slowly. And I'm gonna throw this away. But anyways, there's another slight risk issued on Saturday in Iowa. Your main risks being a damaging wind and a hail threat, with a 15% chance for damaging winds and large hail in Minnesota and Iowa, with a 5% chance for damaging winds and large hail southern parts of Minnesota, northwest parts of Missouri, and northeast parts of Kansas, and mainly just in the red here. Your tornadic risk, mainly at 2%. It's a low end. Just please be weather aware the next today and tomorrow. Now your day 3, another slight risk. Man, 3 days of slight risks. Maybe this is summer's last push before it starts ramping down. Mother Nature's ticked off about something. It's almost like Gladys and Chris's speedos. Man, don't tick off Gladys when you have a speedo in her yard. She gets butthurt over speedos in her yard. But anyways, I'll break down the time frame when we do the near-term forecast. So we'll go ahead and we'll look at the drought monitor. Much of the West is still in a major drought, moderate to extreme drought for California, Nevada, Utah. Much of the West is still under a drought. Texas, the Central Plains. Looks like over here in the Midwest and the Eastern states, looks like there's really no drought over here. They're normally dry in northern Indiana, central Illinois. Northeast states are normally dry to having a severe drought. But we'll look later in this video to see who's going to get a relief from this drought. We'll go take a look at your 6 to 10 day temperature and precipitation outlook here. Now, would you just look at this?
Just look at it.
Now just look at this. Look at this.
Just look at that.
Just remain hot or above average for the next 6 to 10 days for much of the country. Here in the white, about normal. In the orange and the reds, y'all gonna be pretty steamy for the next 6 to 10 days. Summer's gonna hold its vice grip against everybody. But for the next 8 to 14 days, will that be different? Yeah. Looks like for the parts of the Northeast, Ohio, Northeast Indiana, Michigan. Looks like it's gonna be below normal. Looks like fall temperature's gonna be coming next 8 to 14 days. Like I said, it's gonna be summer's last push before good old fall coming. Next thing you know, Halloween's coming and everything's spooky like Mr. Boner back here. Your precipitation looks like it's gonna be abnormally dry here in the orange and the red for Nevada, Utah, California, Oregon, Washington, Idaho, northern Montana, the Dakotas, eastern Nebraska, eastern Kansas, much of Oklahoma, Texas, Midwest and Northeast states. But for the mountainous states and desert states, looks like it's going to be above normal. As far as precip goes, the next 8 to 14 days, looks like much of the country's going to be abnormally dry. And looks like New Mexico and Arizona is going to be above normal when it comes to precip. Well, let's go look at your excessive rainfall outlook. Day 1, excessive rainfall outlook. Looks like there's a marginal risk affecting northwest Colorado, little sliver of northern Utah here, eastern Idaho, much of Montana, northwest Wyoming, and the western Dakotas. Now, your day 2 excessive rainfall outlook. Looks like it's not much of a flooding event for the slight risk areas for the next couple of days. Looks like that's another marginal risk for northern Missouri and southern Iowa. Now, your day 3 rainfall outlook. Another marginal risk in the slight risk area in Illinois and eastern Iowa. Now, let's see why they issued the marginal risks. Looks like over 1 to 3 inches of rainfall over here in Illinois and Iowa for day 3. And that's mainly in the purple is what's 1 to 3, as you see down here. Where's that? 1 to 3 here. Your tropical storm forecast here. See if there's anything forming out here in the Atlantic, Pacific, and the Gulf. Looks like we do have tropical storm Fiona that's going to turn into a hurricane. Tropical storm Fiona looks like she's going to try and find Shrek. Shrek's been cheating on her. Looks like Fiona's kind of ticked off, so she's going to start churning. I feel bad for Shrek. But comes up northwest into Florida, and then Florida's going to be like Shrek, and Fiona's going to wreck his world. But anyways, tropical storm Fiona looks like by the 17th at 2 o'clock in the morning. Looks like it's going to be 60-mile-an-hour winds with max gusts at 70. Storm's going to be moving west. When it turns into a hurricane by the 21st, winds are going to be at 80 miles an hour. 100-mile-an-hour wind gusts. Heading north-northwest. Now, looks like we do have another tropical development chance. Low end. Think it's going to affect anybody. It's going to churn this way. Looks like we do have more development west of Africa. Looks like it's pretty busy out there in the Atlantic. But we do have some interesting stuff going on. Looks like a tropical development by pull up satellite here in the eastern Pacific for you all here. Looks like there's a high chance of tropical development just west of Mexico. 80% chance for the next 2 days and 90% in the next 5 days. So most likely this will turn into a tropical storm. And it's just spinning around there. Now, another one, typhoon here is spinning over here by Asia. Super typhoon. Except hurricane, they call them super. Namadol. Wow, that's a pretty strong typhoon. 155-mile-an-hour winds, max is 190 heading northwest. Griff. Now, looks like it's may churn northeast, and it's going to hit Alaska sometime this week, and it's going to affect tropical development out here as it'll go this way towards the east and kind of screw with the weather pattern. But I'll show you that in the near-term forecast coming up here in a little bit. On your time frames for which the worst of the severe weather could occur, starting off today at 5 p.m. The 5 o'clock rush. If y'all ain't stuck in traffic watching this, but if you are, best of luck with you. But anyways, starting off at 5 o'clock, looks like we do have some clusters of storms starting to develop out here out west. At this time of recording this video, there's a special weather statement. Expires in 17 minutes for damaging winds up to 50 mile an hour and a half-inch hail with it as well. Donkey Kong size in nature. Gusty winds could knock down tree limbs, and I should say it could blow around some speedos. So take off Gladys. If you're in Horse Flats, Snow Lake, Miles Lake, Mumper, Wixon Lake, Diamond Lake, Lakeside, Herman Lake, Jerry Lake, Cross Lake, and Trailer Lake, then please be aware of this nasty storm that's heading your way. But anyways, starting with 5 o'clock today, some cluster storms entering the slight risk zone near Nebraska, in Nebraska rather. Now the time frames for this, I expect it to go from 5 to 10 o'clock in Eastern time, which is probably 6 to 9 in Central. All hazards are possible today. Low wind, hail, and tornado threat, but there is still a chance. So please stay weather aware. Make sure your phones are charged. Make sure you have a flashlight, emergency kit, have a weather radio with you. And if you can do so safely, go out and take some pictures of the severe weather. I'd like to see it on my Williams Weather Facebook page or comment on here and say, hey, we got some severe weather here. I'd like to see it. Enjoy all the comments I get, if any. Comments are appreciated on here. Now, as we push forward into day 2, we do have 2 slight risk areas. One in Minnesota and another one in Iowa here. This could affect some college football. I'm thinking that there's a game in Iowa. I'm not sure. Not much into college football, but if you're an Iowa fan or Minnesota fan, go your teams. There's a slight risk issue again for mainly wind and hail. But time frames for that are going to be, there's going to be around, starting off in the morning time frame, around 5 to 8 o'clock in the morning. I kind of skipped forward here. Say 5 o'clock in the morning, there's some clusters of storms in Iowa. Some rain showers in Minnesota and the slight risk areas. Now this is going to play a role in severe weather development later in the day, because later in the days it's going to sort of clear up a little bit right around noon or so. See, so it's going to clear up over here and over here and here. So with the temperatures warming up, it's going to create an unstable environment, and the instability is going to be out there. CAPE levels, convective available potential energy, which fuels those storms, and that's what the storms eat on to create the nastiness. That's what blows around, crosses speedos, and causes tornadoes and, that kind of stuff that severe weather creates. And I expect this to really start ramping up right around 7 to 11 tomorrow night, Saturday night. If you have any plans with your sweetheart out there, then please be weather aware. Saturday night, as you see right here, 8 o'clock, nasty storms near St. Cloud. Could dump some Donkey Kong size hail with it. So your car might be dented up like Reed Timmer's car. If you ever see Reed Timmer's car, has a whole bunch of hail dents in it. He'll probably be out chasing tomorrow, chasing these hail cores and windbags. They'll be out there yelling, being passionate about what he does. Everybody loves Reed. But 7 to 11 here. And there will be some rumbles of thunder, some thunder boomers overnight. So there's that. And as we push off into Saturday, we don't know the risk percentages just yet. We don't know what the hazards are just yet. But please stay tuned. Be weather aware, as there is a slight risk issue for day 3. And we all know that could be upgraded or downgraded. You never know. But most likely it'll be upgraded, as history shows. Start off at 5 o'clock, still some rain showers, and still some heavy storms about 50 miles or so north of Kansas City. Now we'll break down the NFL forecast here after a bit, as this is Sunday. So 9 a.m., 10 a.m. clusters forming here in northwest Illinois. Clusters in Iowa here. Just forward here by 2 o'clock. Some heavy showers. I'm saying this will probably be a late evening to overnight event in the slight risk zone. Okay, it looks like about 11 o'clock or so. Heavy showers in this area where my hand's at. And 4 to 8 days. Not much as far as severe weather goes. Looks like this could push on east. So Indiana, Ohio, Kentucky, West Virginia. The next 48 days, you could see some severe weather. Probably not to the extent of the slight risk areas are going to see, but still going to put a damper in y'all's plans that day. But we'll go ahead and we'll move on to the NFL forecast. We have the Jets at the Browns. 1 o'clock game. 1 o'clock kickoff. Looks like it's going to be pretty dry. This game goes on overtime, it'll still be dry. As far as temperatures go, looks like it's going to be pretty warm out for y'all. Now let's go look at the Dolphins at Ravens. Now look at your temperatures for that game. I think it's going to be even hotter than it is in Cleveland. Be in the 80s or 90s in that game. Y'all better pack your sunscreen or anything to keep you cool. And it's going to be pretty dry, so that's good. Next is the Commanders and the Lions at Ford Field. Now that is a dome, so not really worried about the precip or the temperatures, but we'll take a look. As this is an NFL forecast. There's a junkyard logo on their stadium. Ford. What a shame. But anyways, looks like it's going to be pretty dry out. But it looks like there might be some clouds in the area. That's what this is. If you ever see that, that's clouds in the area. It'll be cloudy at the end of the game. It's going to clear up. It's going to be partly cloudy with some high temperatures. Just look at that. Just look at it. But it'll be cool in the building, so go enjoy the game as you face Washington. Now we got the Colts and at the Jags. And down there in Jacksonville, Florida, TIAA Bank Field. Now kickoff, be pretty reasonably warm out. I heard they do have a pool in that stadium. I wouldn't want to get in it though. People pee in that pool. Nasty. It's almost like that Joe Gatto scene. Everybody get out of the pool. I've urinated over everywhere. Don't judge me, miss. But anyways, it's gonna be cloudy out all game. It's not gonna clear up till 5 o'clock. If it gets in overtime, it's gonna clear up for everybody, and it's gonna rain when y'all leave. All right. Now let's look at the next game we have. Buccaneers at the Saints. Brady out there. Old man Brady. I believe he's still playing. What's that called? The Caesar Dome? Caesar Superdome. If you're a Saints fan, you're going to mean a dome anyways, but let's just see anyways. Looks like it's going to be cloudy at 2 o'clock. After halftime, it'll start clearing up. Cloudy again. Clearing up. After the game, when y'all leave, it's going to be pretty clear, but the temperatures down there in that neck of the woods, it's going to be hot. But it'll be air conditioned, so you'll be able to see Brady out in the field in air conditioning. Still can't believe he's playing. That's still crazy. His wife's not very happy at him, but now it's going to be the Giants and the Panthers at MetLife. Starting off at the 1 o'clock kickoff. It's still going to be hot. It's going to be a hot Sunday for a lot of these games. Hopefully y'all are prepared for the heat in these games. And as far as precip goes, it's going to be pretty in the clear for a lot of y'all. All right. Now, what's the next game we got here? It's the Patriots at the Steelers. My good old Steelers facing the Patriots. It's going to be the first time the Steelers have faced the Patriots without Big Ben and Brady. Changed the name to Acrisure. Still call it Heinz Field. Alright, let's go look at the forecast for my Pittsburgh Steelers. You see, I have the Antonio Brown jersey on. I still miss when he was playing. Big Ben's my favorite player, but Antonio Brown was fun to see out there. It's unfortunate how he turned out. But anyways, the Steelers Patriots. No Brady, no Big Ben. It's going to be cloudy to start off the game. And it's going to be partly cloudy, I'd say. I believe it's going to be cloudy. That's going to be clear when y'all leave, though. So that'll be nice. Temperatures. Fun in the sun. Hot. Not as hot as other games. Now I think we get into the 4 o'clock games. Who do we got now? We got the Falcons at the LA the Super Bowl Rams. This is a 4 o'clock kickoff over there in California. Temperatures are going to be pretty cool over there. It'll be fun in the cool temperatures, but I don't know if we're going to be fun in the sun yet. Are we going to be fun in the sun? Everybody says, yeah. Fun in the sun in the SoFi Stadium with the Super Bowl champion LA Rams here. Hopefully soon enough to be the Pittsburgh Steelers, but we'll see. TJ Watt hurt. It's gonna hurt us a little bit. And Mitch Trubisky. Mr. Biscuit. Hopefully put Kenny Pickett in there. But anyways, the Seahawks at the 49ers. Another 4 o'clock kickoff. Levi Stadium. 4 o'clock kickoff. It's going to be dry. It'll remain dry the whole entire game until 8 o'clock. Where it's going to be cloudy and possible rain showers when y'all leave. That being in California, I'm going to guess it's going to be cool. Let's see. See what survey says. Oh yeah, it's going to get hotter as the day goes on though. Next game, Cincinnati Bengals at the Dallas We Dem Boys Cowboys. We Dem Boys. Who they gonna beat them Cowboys the entire year? What do you think? We Dem Boys. Not gonna be their year this year, like it is every year. But the temperatures look like it's gonna be relatively warm. It's gonna be actually a scorcher out there. Actually, to be honest with you, it's hundreds. Oof. But it's in a dome. It's going to be air conditioned. Everybody's going to enjoy themselves, so don't worry about that. Everybody in Texas used to these temperatures. There's the stadium of the Nobody Finds the End Zone team. We Dem Boys. Yeah, it's going to be clear for everybody if they come and go, whatever. Next 4 o'clock kickoff game going to be the Texans at the Denver Broncos. They have Russell Wilson now. Remember when they've had Peyton Manning. Alright, kickoff here at 4:25. Looks like it's going to be pretty clear. Be clear all game again. Now in the wintertime, it's going to be possibly having some snow out there. Now as far as temperatures go in Mile High, it'll be scorcher again. Looks like everybody's going to be hot Sunday. Now, the next 4 o'clock game's going to be the Arizona Cardinals at the Las Vegas Raiders. This is going to be the last of the 4 o'clock kickoff games. Now, this stadium's called Allegiant Stadium. I don't know exactly where the stadium's at. I typed it in and it didn't come up. But anyways, Allegiant Stadium, it's around this area here. It's going to be pretty cool out. Start the game. Looks like it's going to be pretty dry at kickoff. It'll remain that way. It's going to be partly cloudy down here. Partly cloudy and cool for the game, so we'll go ahead and move on to the night game. For Sunday night football, we have the classic rivalry of the Bears and the Packers. Alright, Lambeau Field. It's an historic field. History of losers. Nah, just kidding. They're a good team. But other than Aaron Rodgers being a big baby. But anyways, it's 8 o'clock here. And it's going to be partly cloudy for y'all. If you want to the game, it's going to be rainy. About 9 o'clock, so it's going to be a rained out game. It's going to be a good game. Sloppy. And the time y'all leave, it's going to be partly cloudy. It's going to be pretty clear. And as far as temperatures go for the game, it looks like it's going to be pretty cool up there. These wintertime games are going to be fun though. It's going to be cold, frigid. We'll have Iceman out there with his cheese head on. It's funny. Their friends up there are pretty funny. We'll go jump over to the Monday night games here. We got 2 games that day. We got the Titans at the Buffalo Bills. They really stomped a mud hole in the Super Bowl defending Rams, though. And the last game of the night's going to be the Eagles and the Vikings. It's going to be pretty cool at 8 o'clock. 11 o'clock, it's going to be really warm. So, it's going to be a nice game to go to. And it looks like it's going to remain dry as well. So, now Vikings at Eagles at Lincoln Financial Field here. There's Eagle Stadium. That's Jesse Waters' team. Waters World. If y'all ever watch him, it's Waters and it's his world. 8 o'clock. It's going to be clear. And 11 o'clock. When time the game ends, it's going to be clear again. Temperatures go. It's going to be pretty cool out. So go enjoy the game. Now let's go over your near-term forecast. Put below in the comments who you root for Sunday and Monday. My team's Pittsburgh Steelers. We're rooting them on, and we'll see who makes it to the Super Bowl this year. Hopefully the Steelers make it, but they do. If they don't, they don't. We'll see. But we're going to move on to the near-term forecast. Off into the future, the jet stream here. Looks like we have a little spinny hurricane here. I think that's that 80% chance for development down there by Mexico. It's going to be going up the coast here, bringing some well-needed rain to California and the western states by Tuesday. And that's going to affect the weather pattern for this week. So looks like by Wednesday, hump day, and the Thursday, looks like it's going to be bringing some storms to the Midwest. And later in the week, sort of in the La La Land, the 26th, kind of a crazy jet stream here. Look at your height anomalies. Determines cool, hot, and low pressure, high pressure. You know the deal. It's going to be cool out west. It's going to be definitely something right there. If you see that, that means it's not good. It's going to be a hurricane. I'm betting. It's going to be bringing well-needed rain and putting out those fires in California. It's going to be hot in the Midwest. Clear. Up until there. On the 26th. Like I said. I'll push this ahead. Stormy by the middle of the week for the Midwest. But it's going to be pretty dry. Like the 6 to 10 day forecast said, it's going to be abnormally dry for a while. Typical summertime. Let's go look at what the radar could possibly look like in the future. And we'll go look at the temperatures lastly. So forward to the 26th. I'm curious what it looks like. Rain right there in Kentucky. And hurricane right there out west. Good old spinny top on it. That's going to affect the weather pattern this week. You see some rain on the plains, dropping down in the Midwest. And it's going to be dry for a while. Alright, let's look at your temperatures. Hot. Weather meter's coming off the charts. Y'all thought I forgot about this weather meter. It's back. It's going to be the last punch before the cool air comes back by the end of the month. As you see there, cool temperatures, but still remains hot in the plains and the south. Midwest is going to be cool. So like, comment, and subscribe. And until next time, see y'all in the next video. Never stop forecasting.